When Linda fell in love with Ben, she thought she had found her forever. But behind his charming smile was a man with a sinister plan. A plan to keep her beautiful, silent, and locked away from the world. Angela Martins never believed in love at first sight until she met Daniel. She was giving a speech at a medical conference in Abuja, focused on maternal care in underfunded Nigerian hospitals. Her voice was calm, her mind focused, and her presence magnetic. From the crowd, a man watched her with undivided attention. Later at the after-event gala, he approached. Dressed in a bespoke suit and polished shoes, Daniel introduced himself as a real estate mogul. "You don't just talk about change, you carry it," he said. His words were smooth, but they felt different. She'd been approached by men before, but Daniel was intelligent, respectful, and subtly protective. Their courtship was like a fairy tale. Weekend getaways, handwritten letters, flowers at her office. He opened her car doors, studied her moods, and remembered her favorite ice cream flavor. In 6 months, he proposed at a private dinner in Victoria Island. A string quartet played softly in the background. The ring was vintage, elegant, and expensive. She said yes, believing she had found the kind of love that heals. After the wedding, Angela moved into Daniel's stunning duplex in Ikoyi. The house looked like something out of a design magazine. Glass walls, spiral staircases, imported marble, and a private library. Angela quit her hospital job at his suggestion. "You deserve peace. Let me take care of you," Daniel said. At first, it felt like luxury. Breakfast in bed. Spa appointments. Surprise gifts. But slowly, things began to shift. Daniel changed the house staff without warning. Angela noticed her calls were being redirected or disconnected. Friends stopped reaching out. Even her family started complaining that she was unreachable. She once mentioned Chioma's name, and he frowned. "Chioma is too opinionated. She'll ruin this peace we've built." Then came the accidental deletion of her social media. The bank account she couldn't access. The locks on certain doors that she never had the keys to. Angela had no bruises. No one shouted at her. But she was losing herself, quietly, completely. Angela sat alone at the dining table, untouched food in front of her. The windows were always locked. Even the curtains were rarely drawn. Her days were repetitive. Wake up, cook, read, sit. No conversations. No joy. Just Daniel's shadow in every room, even when he wasn't there. Chioma visited unannounced one Saturday. "Babe, are you okay?" she asked, squeezing Angela's hand. Angela smiled thinly. "Yes. I'm just tired. Marriage is a lot." Chioma looked around. The house felt cold, staged. Like a museum. "You can talk to me. You know that, right?" Angela nodded, but her eyes begged for help. Daniel showed up 5 minutes later, all smiles and charm. Chioma left shortly after, but she knew. Something was very wrong. Angela attempted to go out once, just to walk down the street. The front door wouldn't open. It had a new smart lock. No keys, no access. Only Daniel's fingerprint worked. The maid had been replaced with a silent young girl who didn't speak English. Cameras were installed in every hallway. Even her room was bugged. She asked Daniel about the locks. "For your safety. There are mad people out there," he replied without blinking. Her stomach churned. She knew what this was. Angela was no longer a wife. She was a prisoner. Every night, Daniel would lock himself in his study and fall asleep watching old documentaries. One night, Angela noticed a loose panel behind the flat-screen TV. Tucked behind it, an old phone Chioma had given her before the wedding. She prayed it still worked. It did. She charged it secretly for days, hiding the wire inside a stack of unused books. On the 6th night, she powered it on. Calls flooded in, from Chioma, from her mother, from her boss at the hospital. Heart racing, she dialed Chioma. "Chioma, help me," she whispered. 10 seconds. Then the line cut off. Detective Mabel Johnson had worked on dozens of domestic abuse cases, but this one rattled her spirit. Chioma walked into her office with red eyes and trembling hands. "My friend is being held like a prisoner. Her husband is wealthy, powerful. But he's dangerous." Mabel listened carefully, writing down every detail. Chioma showed the call log, Angela's photo, and the Ikoyi address. "I've seen charming monsters before," Mabel said, rising from her chair. "And they all think they're invisible. Until someone fights back." 2 nights later, under legal warrant and tactical discretion, the team approached Daniel's house in unmarked vehicles. They knocked. No answer. One officer quietly hacked the smart lock. Inside, the air was cold and sterile. No signs of struggle, just eerie silence. Angela was found in a locked guest room. Thin, pale, eyes glassy. "It's okay now," Mabel whispered, wrapping a blanket around her. "You're safe." Daniel? Nowhere to be found. A nationwide manhunt began. Airports were alerted. But Daniel had planned this escape long ago. He used a fake passport under a different name, David Andrew. Fled through the borders and was last seen in Morocco. But what he didn't know was that Angela had kept something damning, a voice recording. One night, Daniel had come home drunk and angry. She secretly recorded him with the old phone. "You think you can leave me? I should have ended you the day you embarrassed me." Chioma sent the recording to media houses. It went viral. The net began to close in. The media storm exploded. Doctor turned prisoner in husband's luxury mansion. Real estate tycoon on the run after domestic imprisonment. Angela became a national symbol, not just for physical abuse survivors, but for those enduring emotional captivity. She did a televised interview, calm and composed. Abuse doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. And you must still run. 6 months later, Daniel was captured in Morocco while attempting to board a private yacht using another alias. Interpol agents handcuffed him. No resistance. No protest. "You'll never keep her," one agent whispered in his ear. He was extradited back to Nigeria within 72 hours. The courtroom was packed. Angela, dressed in a white blazer with a silver brooch, stood tall as the prosecution laid out the horrors she endured. Chioma testified. So did the silent housemaid, through a translator. The girl had also been trafficked from a rural town. Daniel smirked through most of the trial, until the audio was played aloud. The room went still. The judge sentenced him to 40 years imprisonment without parole. Angela started a foundation named the Beautiful Prisoners, a safe haven for women suffering invisible abuse. She became a speaker, an advocate, and a quiet warrior for others. Some people wear scars you can't see, but healing is always possible. She didn't remarry, but she learned to love herself again. Not all abuse leaves a bruise. Not all prisons have iron bars. If you or someone you know is trapped in silence, don't wait. Speak. Reach. Run. You are not alone. Backhand index pointing right. If you found this story powerful, please like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Bell subscribe for more intense real-life stories that teach, shock, and inspire. Blackheart, thank you for watching.